tonight's episode, Triangle of Terror.
Alright, well, I guess I need to be part of the show for anything to actually happen, so now we'll start all over again. Thanks everybody for joining us. We're going live to work on some projects here, see if anybody shows up and joins us live. If anybody wants a link to join in, let me know. Alright, so first off, letting you know that it is Free Patch Friday, and we are going to have a Pick Your Own Free Patch tonight during the weekly wrap-up. We have had a couple of people that bought stuff from the store already today, so thank you for that. And we're going to be working on a project for Glocktober. We've been working on this guy, and we're looking for a name for him over on Instagram. So if you want to come up with a name for this dude, then you go over to Instagram on that link, and see if anybody, does this automatically refresh? So far, no suggestions. So if anybody wants to come up with a name for this dude. But the problem is he's got revolvers. So let's work on that. So we're going to be working on this project, except we're taking this dude and turning him into a Glocktober dude, if we can. So we're going to use three pieces, well, some different elements for that. One is going to be the software. The second is going to be the files. And then the third would be the printer. So right now the printer is going to be an Ender 3. And the files will be free files that are online, that are shared online. And the software will be some free software that is available and that a lot of people use. So on the software side, we need some software to fiddle with the files. And then once the files have been fiddled with, we shove them into some software that kind of translates them for the printer. Then we take that result and we put it in the printer, and hours later it prints something like whatever we come up with. So I figured I'd do some of that as I'm learning it here on this channel. Been doing it on the other channel. And let's dig in. So we're using a software called Autodesk or Fusion 360. It is called Fusion 360. It's made by Autodesk. So that's this gray stuff right now on the screen. We have this other one, which we aren't going to be using for a little while, so we'll get rid of it. We aren't going to be using the internet here, so we'll just move that over to the other monitor. All right, so if you want to participate, you can use your keyboards, your mices, or your fingers on your glass, however you do it, and create words that'll go through the tunnels. They'll come up on my end, and we can communicate. All right, so I'm stretching open Autodesk to make it bigger, so we can see it easier, get more on the screen, utilize this multi-giant monitor we got going. I don't know if you're seeing the glitches. I don't think the glitches transfer through. The monitor's flickering, it's going out, something's dying on it. So I don't think those are going through on the stream. You're probably just seeing it straight from the board, so to speak. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we've got a new file open. It's empty. And it's just in, you gotta remember how to use this software. It's just in this three-dimensional world, right? There's this plane, and on this plane is where we could put stuff. It's a three-dimensional plane. And over in the top right over here, you can see the cube that represents the three-dimensional space that we're in. As I rotate that cube, the big grid that's laying on the ground for us in this view is there. Now we can zoom in and out, and let's start by dropping some files into here. And these are the files that we grabbed off the internet. These are files that people have made and offer them for folks like us to use for projects, right? So the first thing we're going to do is grab this one called Sheriff Oko. That's this one. Sure enough. And once it's in here, we're going to say, let's undo that because I don't know what I did right there. So now we're going to insert that guy again. All right, and then we'll say OK to that. So now this guy exists in here. And now, ooh, got a mosquito. I'm going to be battling mosquitoes throughout this because I got the doors open. All right, I didn't kill it. So we've got this guy in here. And I don't know what this is. Probably from some video game. More than likely, it's from a video game. All right, so now that's, I think they call it a mesh. Now we're going to insert another one. And this one will be from here. No, it'll be from here. And it will be from here. Now these are files that we helped our friend Luke helped us figure out what the licensing is on these. So these are files that people are free to use with accreditation. So if you're interested, you can check out the links in the description of this video to grab these for yourself. So now we're selecting this new head, and we're going to make it a factor of, oh, I don't know, 0.55? No? Well, that's neat. It happens in real time. So how about 0.3? Well, that's just about right, isn't it? Okay, so we'll say OK to that. And now I'll grab that item. And we're going to move it. And I think I can just freely move it here. I'm still figuring out how to move my stuff. Get where we're going there. So first I need to figure out how to erase a portion of this guy's head. So we're just going to move this up out of the way. But you can understand what's happening here. And then we can also come up here and twist this guy's orientation, right? There we go. I'm still figuring out which buttons let me move everything good. I can get through this easier. All right, so that's not quite what we want. We're going to move this down a little bit, back a little bit, and then over a little bit. Now it should be getting the. No, not quite. There we go. Now we got it right there where his head would be. Oh, no, almost. Up a little bit. Maybe forward a little bit. Getting there. Let's straighten that up. Come on. Okay, we're getting there. So we're getting close to where we started on that other one. Or where we ended up, I guess, on that other one. We're going to do that up a little bit and forward just a smidgen. We're getting there. See, still not quite centered on the shoulders. There we are. Now it's looking a lot better. All right. Problem is, it's pulling a Walking Dead, right? So now we need to get that head lined up. Now it's looking a little bit more down the gun. I don't think I'm going to get, I don't know if it's right eye or left eye dominant really. So we'll go out here and we'll set that thing to where it's good again. All right, and then we'll say okay. And here's the problem. I don't know how to merge these two. That's what I need to figure out how to do. But we got the idea. Now we got that part of it. So now, how do I erase? I guess I'm going to have to go figure it out. Does anybody in here know how to erase stuff? I did check the hardware connections. I wish that all it was. I buy all my stuff reconditioned, so I bought it reconditioned a while back. So this is this is basically where we're back to where we came from. So this is, I've done this part before, and that's what we've already printed out. So that's pretty much how I got to this. but we're going to take it a step further. So the first thing I'm going to figure out how to do is to erase something. I really don't know what that's called. So let's go let the internet tell us how, since you guys aren't telling me. How to erase mesh Fusion 360. So you don't know, so I need to let the internet go tell you here. So I'm going to figure out how to erase and fill mesh bodies, deleting portions of existing 3D mesh. I like that. I'm working on blah, 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 blah. I just said a portion of it. Try and delete one of the things. Thanks for your help. Work mesh space. What? When is this from? Do you have a date on it? No, so useless to me.
It's small, and I want to.
Sucks. How to edit complete. How about removing faces and closing? Merge meshes. Oh, I like this whole thing. Modify and merge meshes. To watch this video.
Let's take a look at another mesh of this duct. See, let's angles are selected up and down. Here we can change the density using the up and down keys. Don't worry, I can always add to my selection by dragging over different faces. Now let's use the erase and fill command to remove this flange.
Okay, I think we just figured out how to remove the flange. So let's see if we can figure that out. So modify. How did I select stuff before? I was selecting stuff before. Edit. Edit feature, maybe? Oh yeah, look at this. I'm doing what that guy was doing. No, I'm doing what that guy was doing. So I'm going to leave his thumb, unshift his thumb. Let's just get all this stuff that we don't want and keep the stuff that we do want. Oh, look at that. Now, what did he do? He did something. He went up here. Oh, come on. What did he do? What did he do? What did he do? What did he do? Right click and delete it. Is it that easy? Oh, look at that. It's that easy. All right, so now we learned a new thing, how to delete things. It's just taking us forever. Should we leave that ball there? Let's just leave that ball there. It's cool looking. Ah, deleted the ball after all. Hold on, see what this is. Is something coming in hot? Ugh. Really get off spam and texts. Alright, so we just want to delete that one. Delete that one. Don't know what that is. Get rid of it. There we go. Boom! Look at that. So now let's do the same over here. Oh, now I know how easy it is to change a mesh. So you got no excuse. If you're sitting there not deleting meshes, that's on you. Now I know how simple it is. Look, you literally just grab these things and delete them. I'm just deleting the hell out of shit right now. That's his hand. We're leaving all that, and we're leaving that ball because it looks cool, but we're deleting all these other pieces. So those guns were made up of all these little parts. How cool is that? And when we imported it imported all those little things. How cool is that? That's pretty neat. All right, so now he's just got these magical balls. So we don't want to make him a 9mm shooter. So instead, we're going to give him some Glocks, right? It's Glocktober after all. Oh, wait, let's say close. Oh, finish direct editing. All right, so now we're done and his pumpkin head goes back. So now we're going to go back to him and edit feature. And we're going to get rid of this whole head. This is so good. Boom. How about delete? Nice. Are we keeping the eyeballs? Yes. And are we keeping that weird cigar? Hell yeah. I'm just going to move it. Let's see, what else should we keep? Not these, whatever this is. Teeth, maybe? Oh, man. That is way easier than I thought it would be. The next step is how to actually model this stuff, I guess. All right, so it finished direct editing, and now I'm gonna edit feature. I'm gonna grab this piece and move it. Oh, no. How do I delete? How do I take that piece away? So cancel the move. All right. Cut. Did that work? No. Cut. No, that still didn't work. I'm gonna delete it, and then I'll just finish it. See what happens there. All right. Boom. Now we got rid of that guy's head inside of here. So that was wasting a lot of time printing that guy's head. We might as well quit printing his head stump. We don't need that either. So we'll edit that feature, and we'll get rid of this head stump. Dink. Goodbye, head stump. And then now back to, look at that. Dang, that's fast. So now we probably just deleted some time here. That'll be pretty neat. We'll check on that in a second. Let's see. How do I get this back to normal? Like this, maybe? Yes. All right. So now he just looks like he's doing kung fu or whatever with these weird balls. Let's bring in insert another mesh. Why don't we? This time, let's insert a hand-to-hand training gun. Boom. Don't be triggered. So many people are going to be triggered by this one. So now we'll zap that around. That's too big. That would be a 10 millimeter. So now we'll get this into position. We'll say OK. We'll highlight it. What did I do? Oh, this? No. Highlight it. Modify. Scale. Before it was 0.3. Let's see what happens if we make it 0.3. That's too small. Or too big still. So we'll go. Come on. Modify. Scale. And now we'll make it of that 0.3. That's too small. So 0.4. That's too small. 2.5 maybe. All right. And now we'll see. Well, that's still too big. That is pretty big. So now I have to move it up, move it back, move it over a little bit, dink it around a little bit. This is how 9mm people think they shoot. They don't have to hold it. It's just like some kind of weird kung fu or something. And then I still got to make it smaller. So now we'll say OK to that move. Right? It's pretty much where we want it, but we're going to make it smaller. So scale that down to 0.75 maybe? 75? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? A little big. A little big still? Actually, looks about right. So we're going to say OK. We'll move it again. Into his hand. Mosquito got me in the butt while I was concentrating on this. And that looks pretty good. All right. do you think? What am I going wrong here? There we go. It's kind of in his hand. I think what I want to see is straight down. How do I get it to, I want you to go straight down. Here we go. Oh yeah, look at that. It is in his hand good. Oh yeah, look at that. All right, I think that's in his hand pretty dang good. So if I can get out of here, and oh, look at that. I'm doing it just like if I know what I'm doing. And then, if I bring this side up again. Oh, you know what though? It looks goofy. It looks like he's not holding it down good enough. So I feel like this guy would know what he was doing. A little bit better than that. A little bit better. Is this snapping to some kind of grid? Or is it clicking on it? All right, I think that's better. Oh, no, it's not. Come on. Now we're talking. We're missing a trigger, but I think that's too much, right? Trying to get his finger up there. That might be too much. Oh, you look though. His fingers are in the middle of the grip, so I do need to bring it back. And over. Oh no, I put it over too much. All right, come out. Click this, click this. Still got it too far over in his hand. Oh, I know what the problem is. It's the angle. It's the grip angle. The grip angle was screwed up. Now I think it's better. Oh no, that doesn't right. Does that look better? All right, well, we got to do two things at this point. We're going to need to get it so that we can see it already. And then say, okay. Oh, shit. What am I going to do about these balls? I guess they're going to have to be deleted. So edit, go in here, delete the balls. Thought I was going to be able to keep them, but I don't know how to separate them, so they're deleted. Finish. All right, and now let's see what it looks like. Just sitting there looking like one complete thing. Pretty good. Better than it was before, right? At least it's a Glock now. Oh yeah, that looks pretty decent. It just doesn't have a trigger guard. Ah, his hand's a little kinky. All right, well, it's a 3D print. You're going to have to deal with that part, because I think otherwise it looks pretty darn good. All right, so with that, we're going to then need to go to this hand. Uh-oh, what? Yeah, that's right. So we're going to copy this and just paste. What happens then? Oh, look at that. That's cool. So that's how easy it is in three-dimensional land to make a new gun. You have to issue in three-dimensional land now, don't you? All right, so now we'll bring it over here more. Come on. Come on. Why are you doing this to me? Go like this. Now, we'll look it all around. That's about right. Over there. Up into his hand. Ay. What happened? Oh. I need to go back, I think. Okay, that's pretty close. Oh, snap, it's getting there. It's getting there. A little bit forward, maybe. I feel like it's snapped into some grid. Hate snap to grid. Is that what it's doing to me? I don't know how to tell it to not snap to grid. Grid and snaps. No, it's not snapping. All right. Dang, that looks pretty good from that angle. I guess I'm just having to get used to what I'm looking at here. It looks okay from that angle. It's not quite in his hand good. All right, that's a little better. Oh snap, that's a pretty good angle. Now I just got to bring it somehow down a little bit. Oh, look at that. I can just angle it without using the stupid arrows. All right, so what did that do for us? Oh, that doesn't help. All right, so now we'll zoom out and we'll just say okay to that. And let's see what this ends up looking like. You gonna ever twist for me again, ever? There we go. All right, boom. I think that's a better Glocktober dude than the other Glocktober dude was. However, he's wearing the duster, so I don't know. I'm not going to take off. Oh, shit, I probably could take off this duster, couldn't I? Because I got that kind of power now. Let's see if I got that kind of. I think it'll end up looking weird. I think it's ingrained into his legs too much to not take off the duster. All right, so with this, we'll now say front, I guess. And I don't know how to do this part good. So we're going to save. I'm going to do this. File, let's just export. Let's just save it. Save. It's being dumb. I don't know how to save stuff in here, so we're just going to. Oh, now it's not going to let me export either. Save. Right, editable. Don't look at this. There might be secrets in here. Don't look at this. I'm going to get rid of stuff from here. My editable, I got to change it from editable to read only. Make read only. Okay, I think that's what I need to do. Make read only. That's enough. And then I can close this, maybe? How do I close it? Click on home. And then back. And then click that X. Okay, now we're good. You can look at this part again. So now we'll save it. No, I don't care. Oh, I already did save it. I'm saving it again. Now we're calling this one Glocktober Sheriff. You people come up with a name for it. Set this one is 2 and save. And then now I can export it as the STO. And there. So now we're eventually going to have this as a file that I can shove into that other software that was yellow earlier. Oh, it says complete? No. Still waiting for this. So let's see what's going on over here. All right. Everybody saying hello to each other. Check the hardware. Yep. People just saying hello to each other. Consider putting a sack of candy in his other hand? No, because that would look weird. Deselect. Well, I don't know what I was deselecting, but I must have done it. So now we'll close that. Now we'll close that. And now we'll bring back, so this is called a slicer. So the first thing we're going to do is open a new file. Now we're going to set it to the 3, which is the littler of the two. Where did I put this? Now we're going to go find where I put this, which I believe what did I just call it? not supposed to be looking at this either. Shit. Glocktober. Where did I put it? So maybe I put it here? No. All right, let's open that back up. And let's see where I exported that to. Oh, nice. So for no reason, I put it there when I could have put it where it was. So we'll close over there again and open it up in here where it is supposed to be. There. So it's big. Wow, it's really big. So that's how big my printer is, and that's how big the 3D print is. It's a little bigger than my printer, so we're going to drag it down to about 70 millimeters. In real world, I don't know what 70 millimeters is. In our country, we would say 3 inches, but in metric land, they would say 70 millimeters. Now we're going to drag that down. See how it turns yellow when it actually fits in your printer? All right, so now we've got it over here. A couple of things. We're going to go back over here, and now we're going to give its height, I think about 50. 50. Yeah, make it 55. There. And now we'll tell it to automatically drop to the bed. And then I always like to verify. See how it bullshitted, it didn't go to the bed, it just acted like it was gonna, so now you have to hit that button again. And it'll go through a bunch of work, and now when it's blue down here, now it's actually on the bed. Alright, so now we're on the bed, and I get this thing to quit being weird. Now we'll move it around. So we want it to be up a little bit, and over here, for whatever reason, that's the sweet spot on this printer. And if we're going to print this thing, we might as well have it look at us. All right, so we're good to go. Oh, look, it changed the face. So now we're going to hit it again. We're going to tell it to snap to the floor. And it moves it because it's belligerent. And then we're going to verify. Oh, look, it doesn't. It won't actually go to the floor. And at this point, we're going to say, you're on the 3. What kind of settings do we got here? We're at 0.2, which is not that good. And we don't have any support. We do need some support. So let's see, at this point, where we're at. Slice. So when you click slice, now it's going to do the work of shoving it into the printer. And that little dude, the size of an army man, is going to take 2 hours and 25 minutes. If I made them even higher quality, (3 hours and 48 minutes. So I guess he won't be high quality. And we won't see this guy for 2 hours and 25 minutes. Very long. So if anybody knows how to do these things faster, let me know. And I'll use those tips and tricks to try to draw these things faster. What I got to do now is go get the disc that I should have had ready. I'll shove that disk into the computer over here. Save that file to the disk. Now I take that over to the printer and I get printed or started printing it. What am I going to put over here in the meantime? I guess in the meantime, since nobody jumped in, I'll just sit here looking at nothing, I guess. I'll make this a little bigger so you can look at it. All right, had to level the bed real quick there, and then get it all set up. So now it's over there printing. As soon as it starts to print, you're gonna jump back over there and adjust the temperature or two. So next we'll flip over to here and we'll take a look at some real life stuff here. I gotta go adjust the printer. Wow, I got the bed a little too high, but whatever. So, yeah, so what we're gonna try to do, can't tell if I should zoom out or zoom in. Where's the focus on this? Probably out a little bit. Anyway, been printing a bunch of stuff here and figured we'd take a look at busting one of these things open. So this is that first sheriff, the one that, yeah, this is definitely not in. Let me try to focus it a little bit. I think that worked a little bit, right? So this guy has all of that stuff on, the supports. This is what he looks like without the supports. I don't think I'm going to try to do all this under the camera, but I can show it to you there. So this is how it prints so that this gets supported. You know, it's drawing a bunch of lines, so it couldn't just draw a line into the middle of nowhere. So it starts drawing lines down here that are very thin, right? They're literally the gun from the bottom. It's the same shape. So they just draw lines like this that are really thin, and then really close to the top there, they kind of perforate the lines so that they're technically easy to break away. And if everything works according to plan, everything breaks away and you're left with your part in the center of all that. A little easier to see on these big giant ones that I printed. So let's take a look at these big giant ones. I posted a little short, I think earlier today. These take 9 hours to print. We just seen how we make these little guys, and they take 2 hours. And that's after I remove the head. That was one of the techniques here, or one of the reasons for doing this project is these are all printing this dude's head inside of the pumpkin. I just deleted the guy's head, so it should take less time to print the new models. But this is what it looks like when it's done, at about 4 inches tall. And then this is what it looks like when you print. So you're printing all this extra plastic, and you've got to break apart all this plastic, and you hope that those perforations are going to work, but came out with pretty decent detail. Oh, almost dropped. They feel pretty much like a bobber. There's nothing in them, but I mean there is some what do you call it, honeycomb in there, so that they've got some strength. You can't crush them, but they don't weigh anything. They weigh like an empty squirt gun or something. They're just hollow, so they're kind of neat. You can fiddle with them, paint them. So here's some that we painted up. If you're into like miniatures or D&D and stuff, you can paint these things up. Been playing with that a little bit. Kind of like them as is though, especially in the orange. I think that comes out pretty decent. So we've been playing around with them and figured let's do something that's actually Glocktober. So we don't have any actual versions of the Glocktober one here on screen, but we can get rid of that anyway. Go back to here, and now we have this guy who is, let's get that bigger. It's our actual Glocktober one. So while we're learning this stuff, we're going to consider this one our first Glocktober creation. The The other ones have been kind of practice, and those will be his support troops. But going forward, now that we got the little Glock models, we'll incorporate the Glocks into these things. All right, and then of course it'll all be over because Glocktober is almost over. But having fun with this, and did a little project today. So those large ones take 9 hours to print. One of those large ones will go out today with stuff that somebody buys over at our Gear website store. So we'll end it with the plug for the store again. We can't sell all the stuff we've been printing for lots of reasons, but some of it we can. We'll put some of that up on the store today. Everything that gets sold today will come along with some free Glocktober dolls and toys and stuff. I don't want to call them toys because they're not really for kids. They're choking hazards and they're too cool for little kids. But whatever you want to call them. What is that weird purple showing up in this one for? What's up with that? I wonder if that's just a glitch. But anyway, I'm gonna drop another link to the store there. Again, thanks to the people who have purchased stuff from the store. It is Free Patch Friday. After this, or sometime this afternoon, we'll go over and come up with a panel of Free Patch Friday, pick your free patch type of stuff. And each of the free patches will come along with some sort of a Glocktober thing. And maybe for all those people that have been grabbing stuff on the battle against taxes and bills, we'll throw some of this Glocktober stuff their way as well. So stay tuned tonight for our weekly wrap-up, the weekly 2A wrap-up, where we pay attention to not the news of the day and try to capitalize on what other people think is important, but instead the long, monotonous, real 2A fights that are out there that are going on, the victories, the losses, and all the rest. So we're monitoring that on a weekly basis every Friday, and part of that will be, tonight will be our Free Patch Friday thing. So thanks for showing up as we were kind of playing with, learning, and getting more into how to 3D print over here, and looking over the shoulder as we worked on some of the new Glocktober mods. That's driving me nuts. I can't tell what that little purple thing is going on in there. All right, so thanks. Let's see if anybody else got anything to say out here. Yeah, hopefully it's fun. We do this on the other channel more. I just figured since it was a Glocktober thing, play around with it a little bit over here. There's Biker Bob out there, Makojo, Tim, putting a sack of candy. Now, like I say, it would look weird, I think. And Foss was out there. This week is the live show, I think. Yeah, and then I was thinking about trying to get the cigar in there, but I couldn't figure out how to remove it. I don't have all the time in the world to play with these, but next time I go in to learn some of that software, I'll figure out how to disassociate. Like I wanted to take those little globes away too and put those like on his belt or something. Those would have been cool. But I didn't want to figure out how to. I'm sure it's as simple as disassociating them, but yeah, putting a cigar in their hand would be cool. In fact, on that last one that we started with, where the guy had the machine gun, or at least the one I was showing you on that I did the 4-inch models of, that thing is so detailed that the bolt carrier, the bolt handle coming out of the carrier is in the model. Like it's that detailed. So I can definitely do a cigar in this guy's mouth, especially if I make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, it was printing both heads, one inside the other. So hopefully it's going to take less time. Well, we'll find out. Next up is I'll re-slice this for the 4-inch. 100 centimeter tall version, the bigger one, like that orange one, or like that larger one I showed you. And we'll see how long that guy takes to print. We'll figure it out right now. So if I set it here on the Ender 3, and now I take it over to the scale, and instead of making it 50 centimeters tall, we make it 100 centimeters tall, which in real words is 4 inches. Now we'll drag that back up so it's in the print area. We'll drop it to the floor. Verify it is dropped on the floor this time. That's good. We will orient it so that we can actually look at it so that it prints cool. See, this way it's printing straight at us instead of printing off to the side looking stupid. And then we'll scoot it back just a smidge because it likes to live over here on this printer for some reason. We'll drop it back to the floor because it did something weird there. being weird. Why isn't it sticking to the floor anymore? Doesn't really matter because we're about to do something anyway. So I'll pull it back to looking at us. We'll pull it back over here and a little bit forward and a little bit over here to where it likes to live on this printer. And then I'm going to jam it down into the ground and not print so much of that base. See what I do? I don't like printing all that base for no reason. I'm against bases. So if I did no base, he would just be standing there. That would be kind of cool. Actually, that would be kind of cool. And it would stand because it's on a flat surface, I think. But let's not do that. That'd be risking too much. So we're going to bring them up to about here. And then look how much base we're not wasting our time with. So that's all about saving time. All right, so now we got this guy set for about 100 centimeters tall. We're going to go back to look at that quality. 2, infill 20, support. You have to have the support on. We're going to say slice, and this is on the 3. So turns out the 3 is a little short, a little slower than the 5. 8 hours and 43 minutes. That would be 8, 9. It would be after the show. After the show, if we started printing this one at 4 inches tall. Now, if I dropped it to, let's see, go in here and say support placement, support structure, tree. Let's see how long that takes. So changing the type of support for this guns, basically. Look how long it's taken this, figure this out. It's crazy. All this time just to figure out how much to slice this thing. Because of the new support, I guess. 6 hours. Oh shit, so that's 2 hours less, right? 6 hours and 50 minutes. That would be just about the time for the daily gun show. So next we're going to take that overhang from 45 degrees and switch it to 50. And I think I could switch that to 51. But I'm going to switch it to 50, and we were at whatever, 6 hours and 50 minutes or something. If I change that support to only need to support 50 degree overhangs instead of 42 degree overhangs, which seems kind of wimpy. Or it was 41. 42 would be a strong number. 41 was a wimpy number. What was it, at 6 hours and 50 minutes before? Now it would be at 6 hours and 42 minutes. So that's not that big a difference. So, yeah, we're going to, well, I can't save it to this because it's now printing a little dink version of this. Once it's done printing the little dink version of this, I could shove it over there. And 6 hours and 42 minutes later, we have it out. So let's go see how long that guy's going to take to work. All right, it's only at 4%, so it's got another 2 hours. So it doesn't look like we'll get this guy printed. We'll get enough of them printed. He might be printed up to his waist or something by the time the show starts. But yeah, so now we know that this guy would take something like 6 hours to print, where the one I showed you on the table over here took 9 hours to print. So even though we switched out his Glocks from revolvers to Glocks, since we cut off his head and are not printing his head inside of the pumpkin, that saved 2 hours-ish. It's pretty neat. All right, so there you go. Check out stuff at the store. Appreciate it. Thanks, Tim. And also, if you want to grab one of these printers, we got a link in the description. You buy one of them things off Amazon. I mean, imagine we got like a couple of bucks kickback on that. We appreciate it. If you want to chat with us about printing and stuff, we're learning over on the Gear channel. And yeah, it's pretty neat so far. There's a link to One Bad Marine's intro guide, which might be useful for you. It was useful for us to learn about printing, and yeah, and otherwise it's Glocktober, which has been something we've been working on since 2014. Just a way to have some fun with the month and play around with creative stuff. So Till next time, I guess. Thanks for joining in. Foss has been out there. Let's use his exit. Thanks for making that for us. We will be back later on tonight to chat about Second Amendment stuff for the week.
So let us know what you think. We'll be watching the comments wherever you find the video, over on gunstreamer.com or on guntube.org.
Thank you for supporting our projects. If you'd like to buy us a cup of coffee, check out our Patreon channel.
The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourages you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thank you for watching gunwebsites.com.
You've got Echo's Reloading Chamber coming up live tonight. Night Strike does a Friday night show typically, and of course Gizzard Gary does a show each Friday night as well. All right, thanks everybody. Wait, is Foss out there? Yes, this is Saturday. So he'll have a show tomorrow evening / overnight, Saturday overnight. Stay tuned for that. All right, thanks everybody for showing up.